So hello, we were doing complete course for EPFO and we have already completed Principles of Accounting and all its 18 chapters as well as around total of 500 MCQs are being covered, and then we have already completed 2 chapters of auditing as well, which were nature, objectives and scope of auditing and auditing strategy, planning and program. Now we'll start with our third chapter, that is internal control, internal check and internal audit. So concept of internal control definition as per standard on auditing 315. So internal control is the process designed, implemented and maintained by management to provide reasonable assurance regarding the achievement of objectives relating to operations, reporting and compliance. Very important. I've said it multiple times that questions are going to be like this only, about definition, merits, demerits, limitations, objectives, uses and so on when we talk about auditing. Then purpose to ensure efficient operations, reliability of financial reporting and compliance with laws and regulations. Then responsibility management establishes and maintains controls. Auditor evaluates the adequacy and effectiveness of internal control to plan the audit. Objectives of internal audit, very important: accuracy and reliability of accounting data, safeguarding of assets and resources, prevention and detection of fraud and errors, adherence to management policies and efficiency in operations. Now conduct is going to be the same. We take theory, then we will see some of the previous year questions, and then we'll come to flashcards, which is our expected questions or important questions that you will see in the exam if questions are from this chapter. You will find this PDF as well as the other PDFs as well as the other resources for different important exam notifications as well as certain technical courses on Telegram. The name is EduAastra. So let's start with components of internal control. As per standard on auditing 315, control environment, integrity and ethical values, competence of personnel, management's philosophy and operating style, organizational structure, delegation of authority. Then risk assessment process, identifying and analyzing internal and external risks affecting financial statement. Then information system, methods and records that identify, assemble, analyze, classify and report transaction. Then control activities, policies and procedures ensuring management directives are carried out, authorization, segregation of duties, verification, physical controls, reconciliation, etc. Monitoring of controls, regular evaluation to ensure controls continue to operate effectively. Then types of internal controls. Types: preventive, detective and corrective. So preventive controls aim to prevent errors or fraud before they occur. Authorization, password protection. Detective controls detect errors or irregularities after they occur. Reconciliation, review. Corrective controls rectify errors or mitigate losses. Example: backup recovery system. Features of a good internal control system: clear delegation of authority and responsibility, proper division of work and segregation of duties, competent and trustworthy personnel, proper documentation and authorization procedures. Then periodic internal checks and reviews, independent internal audit department. Internal check definition: a system of allocating duties among employees so that the work of one person is automatically checked by another. Objective: to prevent or detect errors and frauds early. Example: the person who records cash receipt is not the one who deposits them in the bank. Difference between internal control and internal check, very important. One of those type of questions on which we pay a lot of attention, that is definition, limitation, objectives and this difference. So internal control and internal check, meaning internal control, overall system of control for efficiency and accuracy. Internal check, allocation of duties among employees so each checks another's work. Scope, wider, includes internal check and audit. Narrower, part of internal control. Objective, safeguard assets and ensure reliability. An internal check prevent and detect frauds, errors immediately. Then internal control responsibility management, internal check employees. Then internal audit definition: independent appraisal activity within an organization for reviewing operations as a service to management. Purpose: evaluate internal control system, detect errors and frauds, ensure compliance with procedures, and advise management or improving efficiency. Again, very important. Nature. It is an independent function but internal to the organization. Difference between internal and external audit. Basis appointment, internal audit, external audit. Appointment is by management in internal audit and by shareholders in external audit. Objective in internal audit and in external audit. So objective to improve internal operations, to express opinion on financial statement. Reporting reports to management, report to shareholders in external audit. Scope as decided by management and here in external audit as per statutory requirements. Independence limited, employee of organization, internal audit. Full independence required in external audit. Then auditor's duty regarding internal control. Obtain undertaking of control system, assess control risk, design audit procedures accordingly, report deficiency in internal control as per standard on auditing 265, recommend improvements to management. Then techniques for evaluating internal control. Questionnaire method. Standard list of questions on control procedures. Flowchart method, diagram showing flow of transaction. Narrative record, written description of control process. Checklist, simple yes or no check of control measures. Advantage of internal control. Reduces scope for fraud and errors. Then improves efficiency. Facilitates reliable accounting. Increase confidence of auditor and management. Again, very important. Then limitation of internal control. Costly for small organizations. Human error or conclusion can override control. Management override of controls possible. And obsolescence if not updated regularly. Then some of the previous year questions. So here we have taken questions from different exam because questions are often repeated even from UPSC as well. So in UPSC auditing accounting questions are not from this portion, but if you will see geography, history, art and culture, then your governance, world geography, you will find a lot of repeated questions. So we'll take questions from UPSC prelims as well. So EPFO 2021's question, internal audit is a part of A. Internal check, B. Internal control, C. Internal accounting, or D. None. So answer is B. Internal control. Internal control aims at reliability and accuracy of records. Then internal check is continuous checking of work by another employee. Then internal audit reports to management. We have seen just now the table internal audit and external audit. Now very important are flashcard which you can use for your revision or you can say expected questions. So at the time of your exam you can just revise these flashcards which are available on the Telegram. So flashcard chapter 3, that is internal control, internal check-in, internal audit. What is internal control? Process by management to ensure operations, efficiency, reliable reporting and compliance. Which standard on auditing defines internal control? So this is standard on auditing 315. Main objective of internal control: accuracy, safeguarding assets, prevention of fraud, policy adherence. Components of internal control: so control environment, risk assessment, info system, control activity and monitoring. Then what is preventive control? So prevents errors before occurrence. What is detective control? Detect errors after occurrence. What is corrective control? Rectifies detected errors or losses. Who is responsible for internal control? Management. Define internal check: system where work of one is automatically checked by another. That is known as internal check. Main purpose of internal check: so prevention and early detection of fraud or errors. Internal control versus internal check, which is wider? Internal control. ठीक है, IC is very important, right? Integrated circuit. So that's why internal control. Or you can remember it by control. So control is the one who controls. Okay, having some power. So that is internal control. Then define internal audit: independent appraisal within an organization to evaluate operations. Who appoints internal auditor? Management. Internal audit reports to whom? Management. Difference between internal and external audit: internal management appointed, external shareholder appointed. Then objective of internal audit: evaluate internal control and detect fraud. Standard on auditing dealing with reporting internal control deficiencies. So standard on auditing 265. technique for evaluating internal control, flowchart, questionnaire, checklist, narrative. Then limitation of internal control, human error or collusion. Is internal audit part of internal control? So answer is yes. So that's it. You will find the PDF on the Telegram as well as other very important PDFs. If you want anything else, do let me know. So that's it in this. We'll do the complete syllabus here. All the very best and thank you.